the queen who chose her people, the untold heart of Elizabeth I. In the year 1533, a baby girl was born in the Grand Palace of Greenwich, England. Her father, King Henry VIII, had longed for a son. But when he saw her tiny face, his disappointment was clear. Her name was Elizabeth. From her very first breath, her life was marked by struggle. Her mother, Anne Boleyn, was executed when Elizabeth was only 2 years old. Her father remarried, and she grew up as a forgotten child in the shadows of the royal court. She learned early that love could vanish and power could destroy. As she grew older, Elizabeth became intelligent, graceful, and wise beyond her years. She watched the dangerous games of politics, where betrayal and ambition ruled. She learned to smile while hiding her fear, to speak softly, but think like a lion. When her half-sister Mary became queen, Elizabeth's life was in danger once again. Mary feared her younger sister's popularity and accused her of treason. Elizabeth was sent to the Tower of London, the same prison where her mother had been killed. Each night she looked at the moon through the small window of her cell and whispered to herself, "I will not die here. I will rise," and she did rise. When Queen Mary died in 1558, Elizabeth, at only 25 years old, became the Queen of England. On the day of her coronation, she stood before her people and declared, "Though I may have the body of a weak and feeble woman, I have the heart and stomach of a king." Those words echoed through history. The young queen faced a nation torn by religion and threatened by enemies. Spain and France waited for her to fail. But Elizabeth had something stronger than armies: faith in her people. She led not by fear, but by wisdom, charm, and courage. Kings and princes from across Europe offered her crowns and kingdoms, begging for her hand in marriage. But she refused them all. She chose England. "I am married to my people," she said. "I am the mother of my nation." Under her reign, England entered a golden age. Art, music, and literature flourished. A young playwright named William Shakespeare rose to fame. Explorers sailed across oceans, bringing home stories of new worlds. The sun began to shine on an empire that would one day span the globe. But even as she built a powerful kingdom, Elizabeth lived with quiet loneliness. In the grand halls of her palace, she would sometimes pause before paintings of families, mothers, fathers, and children, and smile softly. She had chosen a different kind of love, the love of her people. Years turned into decades. Her hair turned white, and her beauty faded, but her eyes still burned with the fire of 1,000 storms. She had ruled longer than any monarch before her. She had survived wars, betrayal, and heartbreak, and still she stood. As she grew old, she once said to her advisors, "I know I have the body of a woman, but my spirit is as strong as any man's." When she looked back on her life, she saw not pain, but purpose. She had turned her suffering into strength. In 1603, after 44 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth took her final breath. England mourned deeply. Bells rang across the nation for the queen who had given everything, yet asked for nothing in return. The girl who was once unwanted had become the woman who defined an age. Elizabeth I left behind no husband, no children, and no heir. But she left something far greater, a legacy of courage, intelligence, and independence. She proved that true power comes not from the crown you wear, but from the heart that beats beneath it. Even today, when her portrait hangs in the halls of history, her gaze still commands respect. Calm, proud, and unbroken. She was the queen who never surrendered, the queen who loved her people more than herself. And though centuries have passed, her spirit still whispers through time. "I was born a woman, but I reigned as a king, and I left behind a nation of lions." Thanks for watching this video.